Okay, let's start with the kind of gear you're going to use. This is a copy of a Single Action Army. As you can see, it's a 4 3/4 inch barrel. Single action, of course. This one's been tuned up, but remember I said that they don't hold up as well as the Rugers. In fact, the trigger on this one no longer will hold its notch. I have to have it rebuilt once again. Now this is the kind of holster you're probably going to use. They call it a Mexican Luke holster. You notice it sits up high over the belt, and it also holds the gun pretty securely in place, but comes loose with a good tug. This is what you're going to be using in single action shooting. Now what you won't use is this. Now if you take a look, this one's made by Alfonso's of Hollywood, and it is an absolutely beautiful piece of leather work inside and out. I've never seen a better piece of leather than this. This one's made specifically for fast draw. The whole holster rig, from the boot through the shank through the hip plate, is lined with steel, so that it does not move. But believe it or not, this rig is actually faster because there's no tie down that has to be used. You see, if you want to draw quickly from this holster, you have to remove the tie down, and once you do, the cylinder is actually free to turn within the holster boot. So, although this one holds it snugly and out of the way, like I say, one quick tug and you can get the gun right out. Now a lot of times I like to wear this on a cross draw this way. The reason is it's going to keep it away from the butt of the shotgun if you're using a second gun. You'll be facing the target this way. Alright, you'll put the gun down, come up this way. Now you notice the technique I use is to thumb cock this way and then release. Alright, that's called slip thumbing, and I find that's the best way to quickly spray lead from one of these things accurately. Fanning, you can't really hit things if you're fanning the gun, especially with live ammo. So what I do is I come up, out, and slip. I want to give you another quick look at the holster belt itself. Notice you have a wide belt. This holster slips right around the belt, so you can wear it pretty much anywhere. The holster makers I would recommend would be either Gordan Davis leather or El Paso saddlery. They make excellent holsters. Now this one I've softened it up by using neat's foot oil and leaving it in the sun. And you'll see it holds the gun firmly enough, but still can come out. Alright, so there it is. You notice it covers almost all of the gun. Protects it, keeps it out of the way. Now, I'm not sure if the camera is going to catch this so close, but take a good look at this if you can. Look at the absolutely phenomenal leather work on this. The double stitching, again the holster boot and everything is lined with steel all the way up through here, through the hip plate, and the grommets on the back. I lost the little leather things here, but you can see this is a pretty thick piece. Alright, it's also contoured. If you look, you'll see the contour of this belt. Loops for 45 Colts, but they're available in anything. Back plate, it does have a leg tie down, but that tie down isn't really necessary because it's really there for looks more than anything. This holster will not move once you have it strapped on. The tie down isn't necessary. In fact, it kind of gets in the way. But again, if the camera will focus that closely, you can see how beautiful this piece of leather actually is. And then on the back, rig like this is about 500 bucks. Alright, well let's have a little fun here. I'm going to show you what a draw actually looked like in the Old West. Now remember, they wore these kind of holsters because they were up out of the way. Alright, they held the gun securely, so if you were riding a horse, say, the gun wouldn't bounce out. Alright, but a sharp tug will free the gun from the holster. Now the one thing you'll also notice about this is that it does not allow the cylinder to rotate freely, and they were never ever cocked within the holster. Doing that with live ammo is really stupid, because if you were to do that, get to the trigger too soon, you blow a hole in your leg. That's not a good thing to do. So the way it was actually accomplished was to grasp the gun with the thumb on the hammer. All right. Again, we did not cock them in the holsters. The gun was drawn out. The gun is cocked, and it was extended forward to arm's length and then fired. Put it all together, it looks like this. Alright, let's have a little fun and see how they did it in Hollywood. Again, now I'm wearing the Alfonso's rig. It does allow the holster, or rather the cylinder, to turn freely within the holster. And if you're doing this with anything but blanks, or wax bullets, it would be terribly, terribly dangerous. So don't even think about doing this with live ammunition. Now, unfortunately, in Hollywood, most of the guys were actors. They were not gun handlers at all. That meant that their draws were sloppy, a lot of wasted motion. When Matt Dillon or Paladin drew his gun, they would start in the classic gunman's crouch, and then they have this terrible rolling of the shoulders. It kind of looked like this. As you can see, there's a lot of wasted motion there. Now, some of the guys were better. Clint Eastwood was pretty good. Sammy Davis was very good. Believe it or not, the fastest of the Hollywood artists was actually Jerry Lewis. But the way they would go faster would be to take out some of the wasted motion. They'd simply come straight up, straight out, and shoot. Okay? And that would look like this. Alright, so that's a little quicker. Not really. Bang. Now, if you want to go faster, you have to shorten the motion up. So instead of coming up and pushing the gun all the way out here, I'm going to eliminate a lot of this movement. I'm just going to come up and fire here. A little bit quicker. See, if I did it really fast, the camera wouldn't catch it. Now, the fastest way to thumb the gun is to push the hips forward, roll the gun straight back, and shoot it right over the top of the holster, like this. Alright, now that's a little bit quicker. Now we move to the real Speed Demons method. Actually wear the gun higher, wear it on the front, and be shooting across the body. What you're going to do is you twist your wrist and your hips at the same time, pulling the holster out from underneath the gun, fanning across the top. Looks like this. That's pretty quick. See if you can catch it one more time. Not bad. Out of practice, but we'll deal with that. Alright, well, let's try and finish this up with a little gun spinning. I got to admit, I was never particularly good at this, but let's see what I remember. Show that one from the front. Forward, backwards, cock the gun. Forward, backwards, around, down, around, back in the holster. Yeah, that's not too bad. Alright, now here's a tough one. Call it a Texas roll, where instead of just spinning the gun forward, you actually flip the gun up in the air, fan the shot, and then put it back. One more time. Not too bad. Then you can take the gun, you can face the camera, and you can go around this way, you can go around this way, and then down, round, back in the rig. Out of practice, but that's the way it goes. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little video demonstration here. Hopefully, you'll get into single action shooting. You give me a call, we'll actually get to do it together sometime. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Anyway, take care, Uncle Tony. We'll talk to you soon. It was too slow. I can't end with that. Watch close. Take that.